Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are just joining us, you are welcome, and to all my returning subscribers, you are also welcome. So today we'll be making this 5-in-1 turban. This turban can be styled in any way you want. It can be even be more than 5. I styled my own in 5 in this video, but you can style it more than 5. If this is something you are interested in, kindly keep on watching. Make sure you please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share, and let's go. So for our turban, we'll be starting with the base. This fabric I'm using is called raw silk fabric. So for this part, this is the stretchy part. You are going to cut your head circumference on the stretchy part of the fabric. So the measurement I use for the head circumference here is 26 inches. For the length, that is the head circumference, while the width is 25 inches. The reason why it's 25 inches is because I'm going to pleat it, to take it to your sewing machine and use it to create a pleat, just like we are creating pleats for your round base autogele. It's just the same way you are going to create pleats here. When we get to that part, you understand what I'm saying. So this next fabric is for the one that will be on top of the turban. The length is 27. I've mentioned it before, just mention it for you guys to see. It's 27, while the width is 6 inches. The width of it is 6 inches. So we take this to our sewing machine, we fold it into two, you sew it down, then we insert our foam inside. This foam will be inside. The width of this foam is 2 inches. The length I cut here is 28, but it's supposed to be 25. So that's why I wrote 25 on, so I did not do the same mistake that I did. The next thing is to take it to our sewing machine, sew it inside out, and you insert your foam inside. So this next fabric is for our ruffle. For this turban, I bought 1.5 yards of raw silk material. So for the length of this ruffle, I just cut through the length of the 1.5 yard, which gave me 78 inches length, and that is exactly what I use. You can buy 1 yard also for this same design, but the length of 1 yard is 60 inches, which is also perfect. You can also use 65, you can use 70, depending on how full you want the ruffle to be, because the longness determines the fullness of the ruffle. So for the width, I measured 12 inches. You can actually reduce this width also, because I thought I reduced in the video. So you fold it this way, you sew it the mouth, then you now fold it again. I sew the two mouths together, you turn it inside out, and that will be all for the ruffle. So this is our base. Now you can see I've created 5 pleats, but I have not joined it, so I'm going to trim off that place to give it like a cap shape, just the way you see me do in this video. I'm just trimming off that side to give it like a cap shape, like a turban shape that we are looking for. So any excess, we cut it out. So the other one that I said earlier, this is it. I've sewed it. Now I'm turning it out. I've turned it out. So that place that I sew will be the back, and this other side will be the front. So I'm going to insert my foam into it. I've reduced the length of my foam to 25 inches, like I said earlier. So you put your foam inside it. So this is it. I've already insert my foam inside here, and this is how it's looking. So now the next thing is for the ruffle. This is our ruffle. I have already sew it and turn it inside out, just like you see me do here. I've turned it inside out. That place that I sew will be the back. So now we are going to put that one. We put foam, we put it inside the ruffle, just the way you are seeing me do here. This turban is very, very simple turban. You just put your ruffle inside. You see, you insert inside that one that you put your foam earlier. See the way you see me do here. So this side, this mouth is very, very big. Cannot leave it like this. So I turn it inside out. So I will now sew it to make it firm. So what I did was I measured 2 inches inward, and I sew it in a slant way. You turn it inside out. You are going to sew it on the wrong side. You can see that I flip it over to the wrong side. That is where I sewed it. I measured in 2 inches inward, and I sew it slant. You get what I'm saying by the time I finish sewing it. You are not going to sew it straight. You sew it slant because you want that only that mouth part to be tight. So you sew it tight. Then you trim off any excess that is there, just the way you see me do. So the one I measured that I sew, the one I sew inward is 2 inches. Before I sew 1.5, but it was still big, so I later sew another ½ inch to make it 2 inches. So when you want to sew in your own, just sew in 2 inches at once. It will be better that way instead of this long process that I was doing here. So that is why it's not good to forward a tutorial video. Take your time and watch it so that you understand. Any mistake that I made that I correct, you will not make that mistake when making your own. So always take your time to watch a tutorial video. Don't forward it. If you are watched to this stage, kindly please give me a thumbs up now. Support your girl, encourage your girl. So now what I was doing here is just pushing it back in to tighten the other mouth, just like I did the first mouth that we tightened earlier. I'm going to do the same thing to make sure both mouths are tightened. You understand? So that it will not be moving around when we finish and when we want to style it. So yeah, I've tightened the two mouths and I'm just adjusting the ruffles together. This is what it was looking like at this point. But I later discovered that this ruffle was too big. I don't like, I measured 12 inches for the width when I was cutting it. So I discovered it was too big. I want it to be a little bit moderate. So I remove it from the foam part. Then we adjust it just with 5 inch different. Then I do the same step all over. It's just the same step. The only thing I did was to reduce the width of this my own ruffle. If you like your own ruffle like this, the way it is, you can leave it, or from the onset while cutting, you can actually make your own width of the width of your ruffle to be like 10 inches, 8 inches, depending on how big or how wide you want it to be. This is why it's good not to forward videos. Watch it to the end so that you'll be able to understand. So I just adjusted the width by half an inch inward. I saw it, trim it off, then I return it back into the foam part. That is all I did in this part. It is nothing extra, just like repeating the earlier step. So now to our turban base. This is our turban base. We are going to measure your head circumference. The head circumference I'm using is 23, but because wall 6 stretch it a lot, so I use 22. 22 divided by 2 is going to give me 11 inches. So I use 11 inches because this fabric stretches a lot. If I use 23 inches, I don't want to be too big on the person's head. I want it to be firm. That's why I use 22 inches because that stretchy part we add to it. So I measured the 11 inches. I divide 22 inches divided by 2, give me 11. Then I will now you see the way I mark the 11 inches. I will sew it downward like this, like a square. I will start my sewing from that 11 inches like that. You see the way I did mine, that's how I'm going to sew. But before I sew, we are going to put our ruffle inside it. So to place up my ruffle, I did 5 pleats. So I'm starting from the 3rd pleat. I did 5. You can make 3, you can make 4, depending on how you want. But I did 5 pleats for the base of this turban. So I'm going to pin this ruffle part. I'm going to pin it down on the 3rd pleat. I'll pin it down this way and do the same thing for the other side. If you are a beginner, you are just starting, pin the 2 sides separately, sew it separately before joining it together. But since me, I can work my way through it, I will just pin it, then fold the 2 mouths together. After pinning, I fold the 2 mouths together, just the way you see me doing this video. I don't see. But if you are a beginner, sew it separately before sewing the 2 together. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I joined the 2 mouths together. So I'm going to sew it together with the turban base where I measured earlier, where I measured that 11 inches. That is where I'm going to sew. So I'm just using my pins to hold it in place so that it will be easier for me to sew. And I'm going to sew all the I will not miss any fabric out. So I'll sew it this way, then I'll put the 2 mouths together, sew it straight also like this, then I'll sew it straight, then I'll sew the down part to sew everything just the way we sew our normal turban cap. That's the way you are going to sew it. Just the way you sew our normal turban cap is the way you are going to sew it. This turban is not hard, it's very, very simple to make. But if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. I have a WhatsApp group that I create for you guys. It's free. I'll put the link in the description box. You can just join. Then if you have any turban style you want me to make, you can just send it to me on that group. So here is it. I finished sewing it and I've trimmed off the excess. So now we are just going to take our needle and thread and gather our turban. Just the normal way we do our turban, we are going to gather it. But when gathering your turban, like I always say, make sure you gather it like 2 to 3 times Don't just gather your turban once and leave it like that. No, gather it 2 to 3 times so that your needle will be tight and strong. It will not pull off. So always gather your turban 2 to 3 times so that your work will be neat and it will be strong and durable. Know that your customer will wear it once and all the old thread is going to cut. And when tacking it, you tack it like 3 to 4 to 5 times. Let your tacking also be very strong. Just the way you see me doing this video, you can see I'm tacking it very well. Not once, not in fact, I tack it like 6 to 7 times. That's how I used to tack my turban, because I want everything to be strong and everything to be in place. You trim away all the excess thread and you turn it to the right side. So I finished sewing our turban now. So to see the beauty of this turban, I'm going to go and place it on our mannequin and show us different ways we can style it. You understand? Let's go. So for the number 1 way to style it, you can just bring it to the side like this. You can see this is one style, number 1. So for the number 2, bring everything up. Let the ruffle be at the middle. So this is number 2. Number 3, you can bring all the ruffle down. Everything will be down. This is the number 3 way. Then the number 4 way, you can style it. Gather everything up. This, gather this part too. Gather it up like this. Then you see how beautiful this is. Then another style that you can style it. You can take one of this and one of this. Then you use your office pen from here and here. Then you just use your office pen to hold up those 2 places together. You can see it formed like a rose at that place. So these are the style you can wear this turban. I think this style is my favorite. This one, everything will be up at this middle here. This style is my favorite, and the side one is my favorite. So if you have watched to this point, kindly make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.